Hey, what's the one thing that can kill trucking in 2024? Well, it might be a new technology coming online that you have no idea about, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. Now, if you're thinking about getting a CDL license and you heard this title, you're probably freaking out right now, and I would be too. You're probably thinking, what is it? Changes of laws? Is that going to change the regulation? You're thinking, is it going to be AI, or is it going to be this mysterious technology that we're going to be talking about at the end of this video? So you want to make sure you watch all the way to the end to make sure to see if your job is safe or if this career is safe in 2024. All right, so let's talk about the first thing, which is going to be what can actually change when it comes to regulations. So there's been a whole bunch of regulation changes when it comes to actually getting a CDL license. So in 2023, we've actually went through a whole nother CDL road test change. Back a year ago, 2022, there was an actual ELDT change. That's a whole CDL process change as well. And then before that, it was 2015 and so on and so forth. But it seems like these changes are coming on more and more often, and that brings a whole lot of uncertainty for a lot of people. The cool thing about that is, if you're going to a reputable truck driving school like ours, then we're going to prepare you way in advance for any changes that do come. Now, the cool thing is we are a nationally accredited training provider, which means anytime they change something on the state level, they're going to have to let all the third-party testers know that are able to test people all over the country, just like we are, the same exact thing that they would tell the actual state. So we probably know all the information before most people out there. Most people will start spitting out bad information, but we know the real stuff and we know exactly how to prepare you for that. Even if regulations do continue to change, if they get harder, if they get easier, whatever that is, we're going to know exactly how to prepare our students to make sure that they get on the road to freedom, because that's our goal. Here at Driving Academy, our mission is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom with the CDL license. We can check regulations off the list because right now there's nothing looking to be changed in 2024. We just went through 2 huge changes in 2022 and 2023. 2024 is going to be free and clear, so you don't have to worry about that destroying the trucking industry at all. Now, the next thing that's on your mind is going to be something like robots or self-driving trucks or anything like that. You might be saying, hey, all this AI here, all this AI coming out, does that mean 2024 trucks are going to start driving themselves? Well, that is very, very unlikely. I know that is a lot of fear for a lot of people out there about, hey, am I going to have a job if trucks are driving themselves and what's going on there? But let's just purely look at the facts, right? Let's stop thinking about all this crazy sci-fi stuff and technology stuff and like Terminator and anything like that. The facts are this. The closest industry to trucking is going to be the airline industry, right? They do the same exact thing as trucking, except being on the ground, they go in the skies. And the technology has been there for planes to fly themselves for 30 years. Now, a lot of you guys think that the pilots actually have to land and take off, but now with these newer planes that they're flying, they don't have to do anything. They just press a button, sit back, and they're there to monitor things, right? So if a pilot is required for an airplane, right, and this technology has been there for a long, long time, by law, pilots required there. Now, don't you think they're going to probably do the same exact law when it comes to trucking? And even if this actually comes on board, the technology will come. It's definitely not going to come in 2024, so you can definitely relax and hold your breath there, right? The thing that you do have to understand is when it does come, realistically what's going to happen is the lawmakers out there are going to be smart, because a politician's job is to make sure he keeps or she keeps his job, which means they need to keep people happy so they can vote for them. If you just look at the numbers, there's about 3 to 4 million people influenced in the trucking industry itself. Truck drivers, that's a whole lot of votes to piss off if you're going to write a law saying that there's no truck drivers needed anymore. So that being said, regulations most likely is going to make sure that they sign a law saying that there's still somebody required to sit in the cab as these things are going to monitor, just like pilots have in the past. So it makes perfect sense. And timeline there, with all my experience, with all my research that I've been doing, I think the fastest that what's going to happen is going to be 10 to 15 years before this even becomes an actual reality itself. So that means you can make a whole lot of money between now and by the time that comes, where you can retire and you don't even have to worry about this whole AI or self-driving truck thing. So you can just, whew, that's gone. That's not going to be an issue. But like I promised you, at the end of this video, it's going to be this one technology that can potentially make everything go crazy. And let me demonstrate to you exactly what this technology is. Beat me up, Scotty. Whoa. We are on the ship of Star Trek, and this is the technology that I'm talking about. So if by 2024 we magically find a way to teleport mass quantities of things across a long period of time, just like I am in Star Trek right now, then in 2024 the trucking industry is destroyed. So don't even worry about getting your CDL license. But it's probably a very, 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 very slim chance that that's going to happen. What's most likely going to happen that you're going to start seeing more of is going to be maybe 3D printers. But the thing with 3D printers is, think about this future, right? Everyone at their house has a 3D printer, and then they have to constantly be putting in the raw materials into the 3D printer, and then they can just kind of design what they want to actually have printed out. But even at that point, you still need to transport the raw material to these 3D printers. You have to transport the 3D printers to the houses itself, so that's also not going to be happening. So unless we're living in Star Trek and there's teleportation, trucking is going to be safe, like I said, at least 10 to 15 years, which means you can make a whole lot of money in what you're doing right now. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think it's going to be regulations that's going to get harder? Do you think the AI thing that I'm talking about is real or not real? And do you really think that we're going to be able to teleport mass quantities of items across the country by next year of 2024? If you don't think that, then the only thing you should be doing is riding this wave, because 2024 is going to be a high money earning year for anybody with a CDL license, because things always happen in waves, right? That being said, get your CDL license now before the new year actually happens, and then you're actually able to really ride this wave and make as much money as possible before anything really gets close to destroying the CDL world. I gotta go save some alien planets out there. Captain, full force ahead, and I'll see you around. Alright, I'll see you on the next one, and don't worry, get your CDL license here at Driving Academy. Check out our website, CDLDrivingAcademy.com, and I think they say Godspeed or something like that, or I think it's something like this if it's Star Trek. I'll see you later. Let's go, Captain. Vamos. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.